Greetings, one and all fellow geeks and
All you
nerds, all y'all, as they say. We are 2Geeks1Mic, and we're here for our first episode, for our first relaunch episode.
Relaunch.
Reboot.
We're back.
Remix. Retire.
Well, you're back. I'm starting.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
That's how we're doing.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Josh is back. Tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button as well, because you guys are not going to want to mix. The 2Geeks1Mic relaunch, reimagining,
Adventure.
The misadventures of the 2Geeks1Mic. As we said before, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Josh. You guys remember me from before. We had this crazy train running a while ago. We've been on hiatus for a while, but now we're back, and it's going to be great. And I got a new co-host with me.
I am Eamon. Born in blood. We are brothers.
We are brothers.
Fully done.
That is true. That is a true statement.
Recently moved closer together, so now we can rebuild this stuff.
The power of the geekiness drew him in.
It drew me back.
It drew him in.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. No, but we want to talk about what we're going to do because, as you guys know, the show is all about all things geeky and nerdy. If you love it, if you geek out over it, if you nerd out over it, we're going to talk about it because it's what we love.
It's what we love.
It's our passions. It's the things that we love. And for our first project, why don't you show them what you've been messing with?
So yeah, we are totally planned. So we are, of course, big, huge geeks. We're going to go to conventions. That's our plan for the next year. We're going to be hitting up some conventions, having a good time. And so, of course, when you go to conventions, you have to cosplay. You have to. It's a rule.
I'm pretty sure it's a law. I'm pretty sure in some countries you can go to jail.
Yeah, pretty sure. Make sure you so dumb. Anyway, so our first cosplay, we want to build what are called Warders from the Wheel of Time series.
Correct.
If you don't know it, look it up. There's a huge book line. He's actually got all the books lined up behind him because he's a super nerd and reads everything. I just watch TV shows because reading's for super nerds.
Look,
I'm just playing. I don't want to offend anybody.
Episode 1, he's coming out hot, guys.
He's coming out hot to offend.
With the hot takes.
No.
So The Wheel of Time is my all-time favorite book series. I started reading it right out of high school, during high school, and I've loved it ever since. And this is my other show right here, Black Tower Podcast. You can go over to YouTube. You can follow them as well. Where that one's more Wheel of Time focused.
Mm-hmm.
This one we're going to focus on
everything,
all things, all geek and nerd, everything
nerdy,
fantasy, sci-fi, TV, book, anime, don't matter. We're going to do something about it. We're going to have fun with it. The main focus early on is going to be cosplay, like Eamon said. Sorry, I'm just rehashing everything.
Let's just redo all of it. Anyway, so we're restarting with cosplay. As I said, we want to try and grow out as Warders.
Warders!
From the Wheel of Time series. You can watch it on Prime as well. The TV
true.
Series. It's great. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, so the
even if you don't read the books, you will love it.
It's true.
It's good.
The Warders are... So in the Wheel of Time, you've got women sorcerers who can use magic, okay? And they will take a warder with them, which is basically like a bodyguard, but they're bonded magically
for life.
So they can close their eyes and point at the direction where that person is. Like they know where that person is. They may not know exactly, but they know they're in that direction and they're pretty far away, or they're closer, or things like that. They can feel sort of the emotional, like when one of them is stressed. They can feel that. They can feel when the other has been inflicted pain upon. Warders, as a result, get a benefit. They get magical benefit of higher stamina, quicker reflexes, and they can go longer without eating. Just a lot of things like that. It's a really cool thing. So for a warrior, it's kind of a dream come true in a lot of ways, because most of your warrior senses are enhanced just by that simple act. But there is kind of a drawback, and that is that your Aes Sedai can sort of compel you to do things as well. So you're kind of you're kind of subservient to your Aes Sedai. So
Yeah.
if that doesn't bother you, cool, go for it.
I mean, and it works too. There's the also drawback if they break that bond, you lose all that ability, and they feel like it's like when you've lost a specific loved one in your life or something's huge, it's gone. You just have a hole that you can't fill anymore.
That's true.
And you're gonna feel it forever.
And when an Aes Sedai, in the books, when an Aes Sedai dies, a warder will go on a blind berserker rage.
Yeah.
just killing everything.
Well, you saw it in the series, the first season, kind of. They didn't go as crazy as I think the book people wanted them to do.
And that was yes. So Stepan lost his Aes Sedai in season 1,
right?
And he kind of, you're right, he kind of did.
He berserked out a little bit, but not
full
on barbarian rager.
In the books, they're pretty much inconsolable. They just kill and kill and kill until they die. So
not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig.
So,
but no, as you were saying, we're gonna do some cosplay, and the first cosplay we're gonna focus on is warders. So what are we gonna do to become warders?
So to start, obviously, you always have the weaponry and stuff, which we pretty much already have covered. We got swords,
a couple things,
We got some lightsabers. I think we're covered weaponry right between the two of us. I've got my office all set up. I'm sure you'll see it eventually in some video. So we're covered there. So what we don't have is armor. And, you could go on Amazon and buy some cheap cosplaying fun stuff, but who has the money and time for that?
I actually bought.
Yeah, you did. So actually, he did buy leather armor straight off Amazon. Oh, it's so great.
Straight off Etsy.
Oh, yeah. Etsy. Yeah, even worse.
And I bought it, and I was putting it on the other day because I was going to film some TikToks because I even have the transition video ready, right? And it broke.
Yep.
I put it on for the first time. And
it
will not break. It will not break.
It broke. So we have decided we're going to build it ourselves. Why not?
Because the audacity, the geeky audacity within us says we can do that.
We can do that. Why
we
not?
Can do that.
We can try it. So we are going to start. So I recently tried to get into leatherworking because it's actually very fun. It's relaxing to me. It's really fun.
It is actually.
But it's tedious. So if you want to get in leatherworking, it's fun, but it's tedious. So
you'll pay for the tools.
Oh, you will pay for the tools. So my wife, being amazing, bought me like a starter kit. I started playing with it. Then I found a leather shop nearby, and it basically all went downhill from there. And I just started buying everything I could.
What was a harmless fixation?
What was
turned into?
Yes. I mean, you will see this giant toolbox I've got full of stuff now. So we started doing it. I've built a belt and a sheath for a fun knife I have that I actually wore at our last little event, the Black Tower podcast event. It was in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
If you go on their website, you'll probably see pictures of that. But it was great. It was fun. So we figured let's go a little more in depth. So we're trying. First piece we want to build is shoulder armor. I can't remember what they specifically.
It's a pauldron.
Pauldron. There you go.
Pauldron.
So we're going to start working on that. We got a big hunk of leather over there that we bought. If you see, it is
just a little. Literally, we just got a little
pretty
bit.
Pretty much half an entire cowhide.
It's okay. It's this ought to do like one or two projects.
One or two, a few. We're hoping to get their entire armor. So eventually, we're going to have shoulder armor, maybe like some sort of chest piece or warrior cummerbund belt,
a cuirass or a belt,
something like that. We're going to get fun and creative with it. We're just going to figure it out. If you want to see us try to make something, comment. We'll try it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
we'll try anything, dude.
If you want to see a piece of armor, just put the comment down below. We'll see what we can do.
We'll attempt.
Because here's the thing: warders don't have a uniform. They have a uniform training regiment at the White Tower,
right?
But they don't have a uniformed appearance.
They're not a military.
Yeah,
where everyone looks the same.
It's not a uniform.
Personal preference.
Yeah.
And it's even personal preference when they're bonded with their Aes Sedai, how they fight. Some fight a little more with their Aes Sedai, some are a little more independent.
Yep.
Well,
and there's in the books, it never specifically says, I don't think, but in the books it's implied that all warders use a sword. But in the TV show, you've got like straight out the gate, and like episode 4, you have Stepan who's using twin axes. I mean, awesome. It was bad. It was awesome.
It looks great.
Peter Franson killed it as Steppen. It was amazing. But yeah, so as a warder, you're not limited to a pauldron, a cuirass, anything like that. You can have a single pauldron, double pauldrons. You can do leather gauntlets. We can do like the Roman leather skirt thing, the gladiator skirt thing. That would actually be kind of cool. Maybe we should do that. I don't know. The point is, we're at step 1 right now, and we're
just trying to have fun with it.
Yeah, we're gonna do different pieces. So, show them the scraps you've been messing with.
Yeah, so
these are gonna be fun.
Any leather worker in this world is going to tell you test before you do it on the actual piece. And now I know why, because I figured that out.
We've already
trying to build belts.
We've already learned a few things.
So if you want to start playing and practicing with leather, you can actually buy packs of scrap leather at any leather store. I actually bought a whole pack. I've got somewhere else from Michael's. And there's scrap leather pieces that like professional guys have used and thrown in bags, and they sell them. They're like $10 for like a whole pack. It's insane. So buy some scrap leather, or we just cut like the side piece off. So this is actually from that bigger piece. We just cut the edge off because we're not really going to use this edge piece. And practice and play with your tools. So one thing I was super excited for, you can tool leather, cut it, carve it, and design, which a lot of people do, but it takes a long time of practice. So how some people cheat and go, I think, a little quicker into it is by burning. So I have a leather burning tool here. It's actually, I think, a wood burner officially. I bought it at Michael's for like $20.
I will say this as well. This is not going to be your show about, hi, we're doing leatherworking.
And look at this amazing. Perfect. Yeah, no. We're going to screw it all up for you guys
many times,
and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to take.
We have no problem screwing.
We're going to do a lot of that. There will be no. We're going to try this for the first time, and look, it turned out perfect. We're definitely not going to do that.
And hopefully next time I'll bring the pieces I've already done so you can see how imperfect my first couple attempts at this were. Because I'm not perfect. But what? I know. I'm a disappointment to the whole family.
This fucking guy.
So if you see here,
we tried, Dad.
I tried some burnings. Just some simple line burning for the tools just to see how it does, how it works. Do I need a press or not? And then if you see these two pieces, we did burn and then dye the leather. And then we did dye the leather and then burn it just to see what we like better. Right? So do a bunch of stuff like that. I tested some beveling. So you take your edge beveler, cut the sides, bunch of different stuff. So just buy some tools and play with it. It's a lot of fun. I also today I had to run to the leather store to grab something. And when you walk into a store,
you can't just buy one thing.
Shiny. Yeah. Got to go buy that. So
got to get the shiny.
I bought a new tool because why not? Because I wanted to play with it. So this is what they call an embossing wheel. Oh, so if you look, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's got a design on the wheel. You can buy a bunch of different wheels. I bought two. This is kind of like a Celtic heart kind of a thing, I guess you could say. Yeah. And then I bought a second wheel that's more like barbed wire. And I hope the light can catch that right. You see, you just wet the leather down just like you were going to stamp it. I also have a whole set of stamps. Shiny stuff. You got to buy
it. Shiny, jingle, jingle,
wet the leather down, and then you roll it across, and it'll imprint that design in there.
Dude, that's so cool.
Does that look good?
Yeah, that's good right there. It's focused right there.
So.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So this is how we're going to border out and design and make it look better when we're actually designing the pieces itself. So, like I said, just start doing it and have fun with it.
So
lots of different things we're gonna be doing though.
So step 1, well, for the pauldron, honestly, guys, this was intended to be a live stream where we actually started.
Right, we were gonna
this project, but I was resurrecting all the old channels, and apparently YouTube had instituted a new thing to make sure that we are people and not robots.
We are not robots.
We are humans with human feelings. And so we are on like a 24-hour ban before we can live stream.
Oops.
So we thought we'd put something together for you anyway, just to kind of give you an idea of what we are going to be working on.
And 100% introduce what we want. Based on our real live schedules.
That's right.
Real lives. We'll only be coming to you every other week. We plan on live streaming for maybe an hour or so every other Friday.
Yep.
And then we will continue to play around with our stuff for the rest of the day. and then post the rest of that online for you guys to follow along and watch what else we.
It's gonna be awesome.
But this is all, of course, leading up to future endeavors. First convention we know of right now is JordanCon in April.
Yes. So JordanCon is coming in April. That's in Atlanta. We are already booked. We're going to be there. JordanCon is specifically a Wheel of Time convention,
which is why we're doing orders for the first thing.
Which is why we're doing orders.
And then we have a really good friend of ours. She's coming with us. Hopefully, we're going to get her Aes Sedai up to. We will be her warders. That's kind of the plan.
That's the plan. That's the idea. And then after that, I don't think the next one I know is in July, and that's the one I'm booked for that. And that's the WattCon, another Wheel of Time convention. And then in September, I believe, is when FanX here in Utah.
We might attempt FanX.
We're going to hit up Dragonsteel as well, but we're going to have to kind of just use what we already have because it's literally in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be fun.
I might not make it, but we'll see.
It is going to be fun. But yeah, so no, if we go out to a convention and you see us, please be sure to come up and say hi.
100%.
We're always going to have some swag with us.
We already got the swag. It's a little dusty, but we got it.
It's a little dusty. We're going to break it out just for you. No, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna do a lot of things. So we got a warder from the Wheel of Time. We've got ideas as well as a collaboration that we did years ago when we had the first iteration of the show. We had a collaboration with Momo Adobo Cosplays, and Alyssa is super talented, super smart, and was teaching us how to use the EVA foam. I've already spoken with her. She's super excited to come back and help us build some Jedi Commando armor so we can put together some Jedi Commandos. We wanted to put together there were others. I know there were others. Like a D&D party. We wanted to be able to put together a D&D party and have that kind of be specific.
100%.
Real life D&D party. So there's a lot of ideas out there, and there's so many more that we were talking about that I can't think of right now.
But we got years and years to do this show, so why not?
And
do all of it.
We need your comments.
100%. Give us ideas.
I've always thought it would be cool to have this. We would absolutely love to do that and put that together for you, so we can have fun with that.
Right. So let us know what you think. If you want us to delve into a specific, maybe there's some nerdy, geeky thing that you're into that isn't as popular right now. You want us to delve into it for you and kind of look. We're happy to do that. Yes. Put it out there. We love new stuff. Oh
yes. As a matter of fact, I'm reading the Red Rising book series right now.
Oh, are you?
Super fun.
I've heard that's a good one.
Super fun. It's a lot of fun. But so it's just the stress is we want to not limit this to anything. That would be another fun one to do is still suits from Dune.
Ooh.
We can make still suits from Dune. So there's a lot of fun things coming. It's going to take us a lot of time to do all this. And once again, neither of us are experts or craftsmen at these things. We are going to be learning a lot of lessons. So if you want to learn those lessons with us,
feel free.
Please join. Let's see. What else? I feel like there's something else. I feel like we're missing something else.
I feel like we are too, but I'm not really sure.
Let me stare into the camera. Okay, well, let's talk about the shoulder pauldrons specifically. So we've got step one is we got to find a pattern, right?
Right.
Do you already have the pattern?
I have the idea of how to create our pattern. So with the pattern, obviously, it's going to be different for each person's shoulder.
Right.
Mine are much larger than Josh's, obviously.
And he's so humble about it.
No. So measuring and shining. The one thing I did forget to buy that I was going to buy was a bunch of big sheets of craft paper so we could actually cut out design. Obviously, cut paper first before the leather. It's a good idea. You're not going to waste the leather that way.
Always work from a pattern.
100%.
Never go straight to the. So this is a lesson I learned when I sewed. So I sewed an Ashaman jacket. Ashaman's another character group from the Wheel of Time. We'll talk about it later. I sewed that from scratch. And that was one of the things I learned. That was probably the biggest thing was use your pattern. And in this particular case, it was kind of an advanced job. It was my first sewing job. but I ordered a coat online that was close, but not on point. And so I had to do a couple of modifications. I had to make the collar bigger. Like the fabric in the coat was so like, it was like this crushed velvet, and it was just not the right fabric. It was not the right vibe. And so I shredded that whole coat apart into its different pieces, and I used that as my pattern. Where we are creating something brand new,
right?
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing like, the video we watched recommended that you get like construction paper and you cut them out to get the right size and feel for how you want your armor to work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the pieces in construction paper, make sure they work well for our physical forms, and then we're going to lay them onto the leather and cut out the shapes that way.
Right. So always trying to use a pattern, cut it out differently. You can also, if you really want to, there's hundreds of different ones on Etsy, different companies of leatherwork. I've followed and been watching a bunch for the last months to try to up my skill game and figure things out. They have templates and patterns you can purchase off them, so you don't have to do it yourself. And then they've got the charts to figure out how to size it to you and things of that nature. So you can do that as well. We like to try to do it as cheaply as possible. We're not millionaires yet.
Not yet.
We're working on it. This is
We're
our
manifesting.
path.
We're manifesting right now.
So, we are going to push it that way, measure and cut ourselves, look at that form.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could even take the old crappy pieces you got off Etsy and play off those too if we wanted to.
Probably use that as a pattern.
Yeah.
At least one of them.
Maybe. So we're going to play around with it. It's going to be fun.
And as a sort of an extra, because we like being extra, one of the things we wanted to do was the armor that we make, the leather armor that we make, we wanted to, because we wanted to do some cosplays, but we want them to be functional. And we want them to be usable. We want you to have full range of motion. So if you're following along with us, you can feel comfortable knowing that the stuff that we're building is not going to be so terrible that you can't just wear it. You should be able to just put it on, wear it, call it a day, have a great time with it. It should also be sturdy. You shouldn't be afraid of breaking it when you put it on. And also the little extra part comes with, there's a couple of curing procedures for the leather to harden the leather to make it, and that's what makes it actual armor.
Right.
And we're going to be doing those things too. So if we do everything correctly, we will have full leather armor that is hardened actual leather armor.
Fully functional. It's going to be good.
Because we're extra. Because we want to be extra.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be super exciting. Once we get the pieces cut out, what's the next step after that?
So once we cut them, it's that's where we're going to go into the design aspect. So if you want some sort of design on there, so like the embossing borders or burning something into it, that's when you're going to do that to get that idea. Again, practice and play with it before you do it on your actual pieces. That's why we have scrap leather and fun things like that. Like I said, over the next week, and I'll post my few little short videos of some shorts of me doing it. I think I might actually get a TikTok account now for this cup. I know, right? I'm going big.
Two Geeks does not currently have a TikTok.
We do not have a one for us. We have personal.
We have Instagram.
We're on Instagram, Facebook.
Are we on YouTube? We're on Facebook. Yes.
I'm not logged into Facebook. I know. Anyway,
and YouTube. So we got Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
And we have our website, which we will hopefully get back up here soon.
Yes,
it's been activated because it's been down for so long.
I am resurrecting the website as well.
We've got some legal stuff to do with that, but I'll be playing along with some scrap leather, doing some different designs and things like that over the next few weeks while I'm off and just having fun. So follow along for that stuff to see how we're doing that. But that's where you're going to put your designs in, and then we will form it's called wet forming. Is the official term. You'll wet form the leather to the shape you want. So we're going to basically soak it in water, let it get completely saturated, and then shape it. And then when the leather dries, all the pores in the leather actually tighten up, and that's what gives you that harder aspect to the leather itself. And then it will keep that form. So I did it with, so when you see a knife sheath that is like, it looks like the blade is the leather itself, that's what they did. They wet formed it to it. So that's what I did with my last sheath. I'll show it to you hopefully in the next episode when we're actually doing some leather crafting. And that's when you're going to do stuff like that. So we'll do all the weather forming and wet forming and make sure it looks all good together. And then the next step would be into dyeing it. If you want to dye the leather, you could leave it just the regular tan, but that's kind of boring, right? So we buy.
No, you gotta make
it your own. Though. Make it your own, right? So
make it your own.
I've only got a couple right now, but this is the personal one I like to use. It's what's it called? Fiberings leather dye. So you can buy it at any leather dye store. You can buy it on Amazon. They're a huge company. They're everywhere. This is what most leather workers have recommended is Fiberings when I've looked at dye videos. So like here I've got a dark brown. I've got USMC black. Don't know why it's USMC.
As
and
opposed
then I've got
to Air Force black.
As opposed to every other branch black. I've got a green one here, Kelly green. So that's when you would go on to dyeing the leather. Dyeing is super easy. I thought it was going to be like a hard thing, but I dyed the belt I made. I did some bottle holders. So I've got potion bottles along the belt that I made. I dyed those. It's actually one of the easiest things you're ever going to do.
Nice.
Just wear gloves because you'll dye your hands at the same time. Okay? It's the only thing
Unless you want your human leather also dyed.
Yes. Just dye, your human living leather. And it takes forever to come out because it dies. And then you have to wait till the skin dies and falls out. But you'll dye the leather, and then you can edge it, bevel it, make your edges all shiny and pretty with. So we've got this is edge smoother tool. You just basically take it once you wet the edge of your leather and you just rub it, and it gives that shiny, like actual sealed look. And it actually helps protect the leather in the long run, so stuff doesn't get into it while you're using it.
Say functional.
This is why you dye the back of the leather as well. Everyone's like, oh, the back doesn't matter. It's just behind it, right? You're not going to see it. Dye and treat the back as well, because that's where the leather's going to get ruined.
You need to dye.
And then you ruin your piece. Yes, the whole piece. And once you're done dyeing, most people recommend you buy something like this. So this is called a leather balm with atom wax by Fiberings again. You lay it on there, and then you'll buff it out, and it's what gives you that shiny aspect, while also protecting the piece from weather and elements. It kind of seals that dye and everything in there.
I'm so excited.
It's super cool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then they also recommend, which is cool that we can find it everywhere here in Utah, beeswax works really well as well. So we're actually going to probably buy some beeswax to try to seal some leather as well.
Love it. So, and the other thing is we're going to also do things like we're going to do different products. Does this
100%.
work? Different techniques. What works? What doesn't? We're going to do a lot of stuff like that too. So
it's all about playing and playing.
It's all about having fun.
Exactly.
So, do you guys like this? Do you want to see more? If you do, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if there's a character or character organization from a book series or TV or movie series that you love and you'd like us to see make a cosplay.
We'll do it.
Because we will do it. We're crazy. We're just two wild and crazy guys. No, but thanks for tuning in to this episode. I know it was a little bit short. It's a little introductory. We just want to give you a little taste, a little sample of what we are working on currently, and maybe what we do in going forward is after we finish a piece and when we start a new piece, we're going to have a little intro episode like this, just so you know what to expect from the next little bit. Like, I don't know how long this is going to take us, but the goal when we're done with this project is that each of us have a pauldron that we can wear and work with and enjoy. And
And then hopefully by April, when we head out to Jordan Con, we're going to have full,
All
whatever we decide our warders we're going to look like. Full
That's
pieces. It's going to be awesome.
Full pieces. All right. Well, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you, participating
100%.
with this. It's going to be great. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button, and then leave comments below. Tell it if you are a leather worker and we did something wrong. Oh my gosh! Please put it in the comments down below.
We need help.
We would like to learn. We would like to learn as much as anything.
100%.
So,
and then also share this with your friends. Let them all know about
That's
us because that's the key.
That's
Friendship.
Right. Friendship. Magic of friendship. And wherever you are out there, we hope that you have enjoyed this this dose of the Weekly Geek.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that you leave here just a little bit geekier than you were when you first got here. From all of us here at 2Geeks1Mic,
Thank you
I
very
am
much.
Josh.
I am Eamon, and thank you very much.